Good day, cricket fans, and welcome back to the IslandStats.com Cricket Show. It's Sunday, which means it's time to dive deep into all the action from the local pitches right here in Bermuda. We'll be dissecting the weekend's clashes, celebrating standout performances, and looking ahead to what's next in the 2025 season. Whether you were at the grounds or following online, we've got all the angles covered, so grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk cricket. Well, good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is none other than Terry Frey. Good evening, Terry.
Yes, good evening, Earl.
All righty. Well, we're hoping Doc is going to join us later on throughout the show. But let's get through the results thus far from this weekend. And we'll start with the ICC Americas Under-20 World Cup qualifiers. Bermuda opened up their tournament, defeating Argentina. Bermuda scored 318 for 8 and bowled Argentina out for 81. Then today, Bermuda went down by 204 runs. United States of America scored 310 for 9, and Bermuda were all out for 106. In Premier Division cricket locally, yesterday at Lords and St. David's defeated Cleveland County by 8 wickets. Cleveland County scored 165, and St. David scored 167 for 2. Today in Premier Division cricket, St. David's picked up another 8-wicket victory, this time over Flats Victoria. St. David's bowled Flats out for 73 and then scored 77 for 2. There are still another Premier Division match going on, and I'll get to that in a minute. In the First Division, Southampton Rangers went down for the first time this season to Devonshire Recreation Club. Southampton Rangers were all out for 115, and Devonshire Rec scored 120 for 6. In the Western County All-Star match, the Eastern Select scored 259 for 8, and then bowled the Western County All-Stars all out for 132. And then in a low-scoring Eastern County Junior County match, St. David's won by 7 runs. St. David's were bowled out for, get this, Terry, 33. And Cleveland were bowled out for 26. But, Terry, that was not the lowest total this weekend.
Really?
Because in the ICC Americas Under-19 qualifiers, Argentina were bowled out for 23. And Canada made 26 without loss.
Wow.
in a World Cup qualifier.
Wow.
So let's get to the matches that are still going on. Just recently, the match between PHC and Willowcotts has ended, with Willowcotts winning by PHC winning by 12 runs. PHC were bowled out for 167 and then bowled Willowcotts out for 156. At the Wellington Oval, currently going on, Bailey's Bay are chasing a total of 280, and St. George's scored 280 for 8, and Bailey's Bay are 177 for 7 at this present time. So actually, let me see if I can get an update. Actually, it's 188 for 8 now. Wow. Bailey's Bay with some 8 overs to go. So let's start off, Terry, with obviously the international matches. Bermuda got off to a start against Argentina. Real confidence booster, scoring 318 runs in the opening match. So we look at some of the top scorers in that match. You had 74 from Luke Fulton.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 73 from Keegan Jones, 35 from Zarai Tomlinson, and 21 from Callum McFerrin. The extras were 42 extras.
Wow.
Argentina blew 34 wides.
Really?
34 wides, which added up to our total of 318 in the 50 overs for 8. And then we bowled Argentina out for 81. They really didn't have a good start. They were 1 for 2, 2 for 29, 1 for 2, 2 for 12, 3 for 12, 4 for 19, 5 for 19, 6 for 19, 7 for 30, 8 for 33, and then they had a 50-run partnership, or just under a 50-run partnership for the ninth wicket, and they had a player injured. He was hit by a rising ball from Douglas. You had Sakee Robinson, 10 overs, 3 maidens, 5 for 13. He really put him on the back foot early in their inning, Gillespie, and he had a variation of pace and different angles and different variations that allowed him to really confuse the batsman and put Argentina in trouble right from the start. But hearing that, obviously, what's your thoughts on the start?
Yeah. So, well, let's put it this way. When you look at playing against Argentina, I always felt confident that Bermuda would win that game. Only because I know the history. Being involved in the under-19s previously, they were one of the weaker teams in most of the competitions that we had participated in. So I was confident that Bermuda would win that first game. And it's good to see two batsmen, getting up there in the 70s. It's too bad that one of them or both of them didn't achieve 100 out of that. And also to see, Sakee Robinson coming from behind and supporting it by burning a good spout and getting 5 wickets.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise to me that Bermuda would have won that game and win it comfortably.
Yeah. Then obviously today you're playing against some better opposition. We all know, USA had defeated Canada yesterday, so both teams come in on a high kind of thing. But USA got off to a flying start, 135-run opening wicket partnership.
Wow.
The opener, Amrinder Gill, ended up with 102 off of 122 balls. He was out to a brilliant catch from Sakee off Jemai Douglas. But he had already inflicted some wounds in Bermuda. Because when he was out. He was the 5th wicket to fall with the score 231. And as the day before, Bermuda put on 318. Now it's their turn to feel what 318 feels like, having to chase it. For the Berlin, you had Keegan Jones, 2 for 52 from 10. Isaiah O'Brien, 2 for 59 from 9 with 1 maiden. Jemai, 1 for 31 from 3. Luke Horan, 7 overs, 1 for 46. And Callum McFarlane, 10 overs, 1 for 46. The bowlers really had a tough time. And the bits I watched, one thing, the difference between the two teams, Terry, that I saw was USA were not afraid to take their singles. They would push it into the gap, and off they go kind of thing. We have a tendency in all our cricket to sit on our back kind of thing. Where they're creating runs, where we'll rather be safe and say no, we're not going to go for the run kind of thing. So that contributed a lot to their totals. Singles inside the circle. That they were willing to take those chances on and so forth. And then unfortunately, when we went to that, we just never got the start. When you looked at it, we were 1 for 19, 2 for 31, 3 for 33, 4 for 46, 5 for 47, 6 for 83, 7 for 92, 8 for 104, 9 104, and all out for 106. Highest batsman was Sakee with 34. Luke Fulton scored 20. Callum McFarlane, who opened, He got 22, but the rest never made double figures. And for USA's sake, they only gave up 9 extras, 8 wides.
Mm-hmm.
Very disciplined bowling.
Yep. Again, I've always felt that today will be a much stiffer challenge for Bermuda against the United States. More so, United States coming off a good victory yesterday against probably one of the better teams in the tournament as well, Canada.
Yes, yeah.
So they would have been coming in with a lot of confidence. But it was interesting that you talk about singles and taking singles and rotating strike. That is a big weakness here in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And it's throughout all formats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that hopefully Clay can try to address, and you get these guys to do better. Taking singles and rotating strikes are very, very important, especially if you got a left and right hand combination batting. You can use that to your advantage, because that means that same bowler has to change lines and lengths.
Every time, yeah.
So it's not just about rotating strike to keep the scoreboard good, but it actually makes the bowler to do something different, and that's what you need them to do.
Sure.
So it's very, very important. Running between the wicket is very, very important part of the batting setup in any team.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, welcome.
Hey, sorry, Doc. Late, you guys. I'm here.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem.
Good.
At all. We're just talking about Bermuda's 2 matches. We talked about the match yesterday where they picked up a big win over Argentina, but today they lost by 204 runs against United States. I was telling Terry, when little I watched, USA would take singles inside the circle. They would capitalize on just trying to rotate that strike kind of thing, where a lot of times in Bermuda we tend to sit on our bat and wait for either a double or a boundary to think that we could score runs.
Yes, I did watch a little bit of the match today too. That's true. But then against Argentina, it's a lot different when they played US. And US is one of the stronger teams, I think. Me personally, I think US, Canada, 2 of the strongest teams. But this year, on paper, from what I've been reading, it looks like US is going to be the team to go through. USA. So we'll see. Anything now, they have to definitely win against Canada now, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Do they play each team twice or just once?
Each team twice.
Okay.
Yeah. So USA lost to Canada. I mean, Canada's already lost to USA yesterday.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. USA is the top team. See, anyway, even when I looked at it before the tournament, it looked like the makeup of that team. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed with some of the fields they're playing on in the US. And in the wickets, those wickets look really good, man.
Are they dropping in wickets? Do you know?
Beg pardon?
Are they dropping in wickets, or are they?
I'm not too sure.
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, I wouldn't be surprised, only because you saw the wide angle today, Doc. The square is one color, and I mean when I say one color, from a distance it looked like you was playing at Horseshoe Bay Beach, but it's totally different. Opposed to the bronze itself, kind of thing.
I just know that a lot of these
maybe.
I mean, where's that too? That's
that dropping a lot of wickets
in Atlanta.
Georgia. Yeah. Jeez,
I mean,
man.
the outfield is plush, but you look at the actual wicket, it looks like it's from another field. So maybe it is one of those drop wickets.
Yeah, I know in the United States, it's starting to become big.
Right.
A lot of those playing fields that they're now producing have dropping in wickets, from various countries, India, Australia, New Zealand.
Right.
I know a lot of those countries are providing drop-in wickets.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
what we're going to do, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to start looking at cricket from yesterday, and obviously today we'll keep an eye on that Bayless Bay chase of St. George's. We'll be right back.
You ever crack open a Coke and just perfect?
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
Summer is still going strong, and Lindo's Next Level has what you need to make the most of it. From coolers and barbecue gear to beach umbrellas and picnic supplies, you'll find all your summer essentials in one place and in bulk. Whether you're planning one last big bash or a laid-back weekend by the shore, stock up and save upstairs. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Pink sands beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, pages silence, proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Pages silence, proudly Bermudian. Pages silence, proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, an update from Wellington Oval, where St. George's have just defeated Bayless Bay by 89 runs. St. George's scored 280 for 8, and then pulled Bayless Bay out for 191. But let's turn our attention to yesterday in the Premier Division, the match between St. David's and Flats Victoria over at Lords and St. David's. St. David's won the toss, I believe, and let me just make sure. St. David's did win the toss and sent Flats to bat and bowled them out for 73. Flats struggled with a lineup yesterday where they had Ryan Balberta batting at number 9, and Kyle Franks, who's been out injured, batting at number 10. But all out for 70 or 73 for 9. Two batsmen in double figures, Dejan Carey 17 and Nelson Bascom 12. But the destroyer was Kevin Fubler, 9 overs, 3 maidens, 6 for 21. He was supported by Derek Bregman, who bowled 9 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 17. And Onias Bascom took 1 from 1 ball in his spell to close out the inning. But St. David's then quickly turned around and got 77 runs in 10 overs with Trey. That's today.
That's today, yeah. That's today.
Yesterday's match was Cleveland County, but I'll finish with today's match and then go back to yesterday's match. But Trey was not on 38 in that quick chase, so St. David's have really solidified their chances of the Premier Division in the 50 overs. They've been unbeaten in their matches thus far. But let's talk a little bit about today's match. I mean, Flats, who came up, got promoted to this division last season, struggled, and now they're struggling with numbers, Terry.
Yeah. And I believe 1 or 2 of the players away with the under-19s.
Yeah.
Under
19.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you look at that, I mean, I'm sure their roster, they don't have a large roster of players. So if that happens, then they will struggle for numbers, especially if you're seeing Ryan Valberta playing. You know,
Yeah.
'cause he's also coaching there too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, it's difficult for these smaller clubs when they lose a couple of players overseas.
I agree.
You know, international duty. It's going to affect their roster. So it's always going to be a challenge for those smaller clubs. You know.
Yeah. Impressive figures for Kevin.
Yeah.
6 of 31. Yeah. And also, St. David struggled with players too, because they had 2 or 3 players. They had 2 that had Isaiah and Sakri. So, but if you look at theirs, at least they could, you know, they came up with some more. You know, they have enough players to
and they have experienced players too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not going to affect them so much.
Right.
So,
they can get 2 fringe players pop in that team and they still be strong.
easy. You know? Still be strong, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Flats were struggling.
They were struggling.
And you know, right after Cunny too. If this game was before Cunny, it probably it might have been all right. But now, after Cunny, you see some of the players that played in Cunny, some of them didn't play today. So you know, it's just one of those things. But it's nice to see they had 11, but to compete. Against Indians with that team, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
for sure.
And let's hop back to yesterday because St. David's played Cleveland County at Lords and picked up a 8-wicket victory. Cleveland won the toss and decided to bat. They scored 165 for 9 in 50 overs. I don't know if you want to do that math, but that was like what, 3 runs and over, 4 runs and over? 3 runs and over?
Yeah,
maybe?
it's over 3.
Yeah. And St. David's would score 167 for 2 in 27.1 overs. In the Cleveland inning, you had Jabari Darrow score 22, Stephen Bremer, top scorer with 41. You had Damali Bell scoring 24 with Makai Young, both of them 24. In the bowling department, you had Kevin Fubler 3 wickets for 17 runs, 10 overs, 4 maidens. So that's 9 wickets for the weekend for him. Trey Manders 2 wickets from 10 overs. St. David struggled for players yesterday because Sammy Robinson played,
yes.
Yeah. And if Trey is building 10 overs, then
they had to be struggling. Hey, but look at our coach's stats. I think he built 10 overs and he didn't get no wickets, but he didn't get up like 20 runs.
Yeah, Sammy,
yes.
Sammy, 10 overs, 3 maidens.
Sammy was always a tidy bowler, you know.
Tidy bowler, yeah.
Stumps to stumps.
Stumps to stumps.
Keep it simple.
None for 20, mate.
Yeah,
that's good, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Today, though.
His economic rate was 2.20.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. When I looked at the stats, I was like, "Oh boy, here your boy goes again." And Sam is always a good guy to have on the club when guys are away like that. You know, his son's away, so he just filled in it, and he could still do good job. Yeah, he's in good shape too. Yeah.
He's playing a lot of golf nowadays.
Yes.
So it's got different back muscles.
That's right. Exactly. Not like it's been laying dormant. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in reply for St. David's, you had Anais Bascom score 63 off of 44, 4 4s, 5 6s. Trey Manders 52 not out. Both of them not out. They shared a 106 run partnership to see St. David's across the line. Trey faced 71 balls, 2 4s, 1 6. Obviously, he used a lot of the space at Lords to get his runs instead of Bondress. Trey, yeah.
I think he played more a supporting role, and Nias was hitting. That's what it looked like on the at the stats. Yeah. And then Nias stopped to make sure he got his 50. Because they needed like 4 runs. Nias was on
Nias was on 60. Yeah, he was on 63, and they needed 4 runs to cross the score, and Trey was on 47, and Trey got a single off the next over, the first ball, and Nias poked every ball after that.
Hey, you got it 50.
Yeah, because when I was watching it to see what would happen, and you could see each over. They took the single, and then Nias would just poke. I said, okay, that's teammates. Yeah. Your indication of
that was,
I've got my
that's
50.
that was good of him.
Yes.
I think vice versa. I think if Trey would have probably done, he probably would do the same thing too.
Same thing. Oh yeah, definitely.
As teammates, if you got a good partnership like that, sometimes it's always good to see your partner. To get 52.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm seeing that in professional cricket too at times too. Yeah.
If you look at the Cleveland bowler, Cleveland used 7 bowlers. Just could not prevent St. David from scoring so freely. That was a big thing for St. David. They managed to score runs so quickly that it's always going to be a struggle for a team once they get going like that. And so let's turn our attention to today, back to today, and look at the match that just finished at Wellington Oval, where St. George's defeated Bayless Bay by 89 runs. St. George's scored. The match was reduced to 45 overs for various reasons. St. George's won the toss. They elected to bat, and they would score 280 for 8. They got a good start for Jonte, scored 92 off of 57 balls, 8 fours, 7 sixes. Detroit Smith, St. George's had lost 2 early wickets. Well, 1 early wicket. Jason Anderson was out early. In the third over, they were 1 for 6. But then Nzari Painter scored 9, and Jonte Smith, who scored 92, took the score to 100 exactly. So a 94-run partnership for the second wicket, and it took them 12.2 overs to do so, and that would have settled St. George's down quite a bit. I already said Detroit scored 41. Clay Darrell got 55 in the bowling department for Bayless Bay. Shirai Tavares, 7 overs, 2 for 40. Rodney Trott, 9 overs, 2 for 67. Jordan Burgess, 8 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 40. Jarrett Richardson bowled and got a wicket.
So I'm assuming that Del Rey didn't play in it.
Doesn't look like, because Irvin Romaine played today.
Okay.
Yeah, and he bowled 2 overs, gave up 14 runs. And then in the run chase, Terran and Cooley Durham got him off to a start, 31-9 before Cooley went. And then Terran went with the score on 73. He scored 34. Azende, Frebit, and Shirai Tavares then put on the stand. Azende scored 56. Shirai scored 48. But then no one else got in double figures, as you had Jarrett was out for 3, Rodney out for 2, Jordan out for 4, Brandon out for naught, Kyle out for 4, Irvin out for 5, and they were all out for 191 in 39.2 overs. That stand between Azende had to go out and then come back in, so there was a stand before you got trapped LBW. But the bowling department for St. George's, you had Zico Burgess, 8.2 overs, 4 for 28. Detroit Smith, 9 overs, 4 for 29. Shakai Darrell, 9 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 36. And Zari Painter, 3 overs, 1 for 24. So they had good all run.
Good
you know,
team effort.
Yeah.
All round too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good cricket. It's solid cricket.
Yeah. The good thing for Bayless Bay, it was an opportunity, I guess, for some players who will possibly or hopefully be trying to make the team for next week in the second round of the Eastern County. It's an opportunity for them to have a go. I know Shirai Tavares was a reserve the first match. He had a good weekend this weekend with both now looking at it, bat and ball. So, he'll be looking to make a clean full spot. But,
Yeah, I would think that Bayless Bay will have a little bit difficult challenge picking a team this time for the second round.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of logistics taking place here.
Right.
There's a lot of dynamics. So it'll be interesting. Yep. But good on Shirai though.
Yeah.
At least he's put his name back in the field. And some
makes it even more difficult, Doc.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to step up to the plate if you want to make the team.
Right.
Because I guess last year Shirai was probably in the team.
Yeah.
It might have the best of seasons this year if you look at his stats.
Right.
Even if Sterling, he got a lot more wickets and runs last year.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him that it's coming towards the end of the season that it's starting to make a little bit of runs and getting wickets. So
Yeah.
Be interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
But it's a good all-round performance by St. George's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good on them.
Yeah. The good thing
I
for
meant
them,
they're hard to beat anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. The good thing for them is that keeps St. David's honest now, because although St. David's have beaten St. George's, St. George's has beaten everybody else too, with the exception of St. David's. So if they both end up with if St. George's do manage to beat St. David's next time around, obviously with St. David's getting these big wicket victories, their net run rate is going to go sky high. So obviously St. George's will have some work to do. But first thing you want to do is try and beat the team that's above you. So we'll come down to that as they get to near the end.
I thought they were playing each team once now. At the beginning, they was playing each team twice in the schedule, but his schedule's been changed because I don't know how the schedule is now.
Yeah, they're always sending out updates.
Yeah, man. So
as to what they're doing.
I thought everybody was playing everybody twice. I don't know.
Well, that was the first. That was in the first schedule, but now I heard that was another. Like Terry said, it was another schedule sent out. So I don't know what's going on, and it's going to be difficult. If you look at the time frame now to play each team twice, that's gonna run you right into September.
Right.
So I don't know, but it can be possible. You might have to play Saturday and Sunday cricket, but then you still got the Eastern Conference still got to finish off, and even one of the games in Western Conference. So how they gonna do that? I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a difficult little telling to think about it. But
interesting to find out what it is, whether or not they're playing each other twice or
exactly, because I had heard that now it's one. So I don't know. I tried to look at the update schedule, and I still can confirm that they're playing each team twice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe somebody could let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, let's take another commercial break, and hopefully when we come back, somebody has updated us on what if teams will be playing each other twice. We'll be right back.
The pink sands beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years, it's been clear, it's silence proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian.
crack open a Coke and just perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
The sun is out and plans are on, but you've still got groceries to get. Let Drop It do the shopping for you. From ice cream to grill supplies, we'll deliver your summer must-haves straight to your door. No lines, no stress, just cold drinks, hot grills, and more time to enjoy the sunshine. Order now at dropit.bm. Summer delivered right to your door. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. I haven't heard anything as of yet. Somebody's got something playing back. Okay, well, let's look at the first division. Today, Southampton Rangers had their first loss of the season. They got down by 4 wickets to Devonshire Rack. By 4 wickets to Devonshire Rack. So that the Rangers scored 115 at the Rack, all out there. Their score was Allende Bascom with 43, Dante Bellman 15, Dion Stubble 18, and Dale Richardson 12. No one else in double figures in the building department for Devonshire Recreation Club. Nairobi Carmichael, 9.1 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 46. Shaquille Pitcher, 5 overs, 3 for 22. Rudell Pitcher, 5 overs, 2 for 12. And then in reply, Devonshire Rack would score 120 for 6 in 22.3 overs. They got 32 from Alan Douglas over 13 balls. He had 4 sixes. Freeman Lima, 26. Truwande Bascom, 31 over 26. And Kim McKenna and Rudell Pitcher opened. I don't understand that, but they opened and Rudell was out in the second over. The score was on 3. But Devonshire Rack managed to get across the line. In the building department, Dante Bringman, 4.3 overs, 2 for 33. Mackay Jacobs, 5 overs, 2 for 23. Allende Bascom, 4 overs, 1 for 18. First defeat for the season, Terry, for Rangers. You surprised?
Yeah, very, very much so.
Very so.
So, what is that league decided?
I'm pretty sure. Well, that's the first loss. They've been blowing away teams, so I can't see it being any other way. It's just a matter of who will join them going up.
Right.
Yeah.
Only because I am surprised that they lost that heavily actually to Devon.
Yeah.
I'm the only thing I can think is that maybe they took the foot off the pedal a little bit, knowing that they had that league secure. That's the only thing that I can really put this on to, because they played solid cricket throughout the whole season.
Exactly.
And then to lose at Devonshire Rack, I am surprised at that actually. But anything happens in cricket, if the mindset ain't right, and the approach is not right, then this is what happens,
Okay.
And I'm sure Devonshire Rack played good cricket too. You know what I mean? When you look at those scores, a few of the individuals did very well as well.
And we also got to remember Devonshire Rack still got a pretty decent team. Remember, they still got Alan Douglas, they like George O'Brien, Trady Gibbons. That's still got a pretty decent team. Just that they in the beginning of the season they didn't get a good start, but it looks like in the 50 overs it might be coming up. I mean, it could be Rangers and Devonshire Wreck coming up.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't think Devonshire Wreck's lost much games in that 50 over tournament too. So
Right.
it's got to be close between Rangers and
And Devonshire.
Devonshire Wreck. And being that the game was out there, right, gave him even more that little confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting in that division too.
Yeah.
As long as this time last year, Devonshire Wreck wasn't showing up.
Right.
Now they got a pretty good nucleus of players, experienced players too.
Mhm.
So they're going to be in the runnings for that 50 over coming up too in the
Right.
title.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been sent the schedule, and it looks as if each team will play each other once, and a knockout begins in September. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. It's a plate between 5 and 6, and 7 and 8 are relegated. So it looks as if starting in September 6th, we have that Premier first, again Premier 4th. And then on the Sunday, the winner out of game 1 will play the winner out of game 2 for the final. So,
So that means if St. Davis could win the league, but they still get knocked out of the in the knockout too.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. I think that kind of format in the 2022, remember?
Yes.
Right, yeah, they do that in the
Yeah.
2020. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah.
So let's look at the other first division match, PHC and Willowcuts. PHC batted first and scored and were billed out for 167, and then Willowcuts were billed out for 156, 11 runs short of their target. For PHC, they would have to thank Charles Trott for their total. He scored 78 from 66 balls, 4 fours, 7 sixes. The only other double-figure players were Sage Carter and Isaac Todd. Both scored 25 runs. Isaac, very patient, 90 balls, 2 fours for his 25, and Sage 43 balls with 4 fours for his 25. In the bowling department for Willowcuts, Kamal Bashir, 7 overs, 3 for 39. Ross Solomon Burrows, the captain, 8.2 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 19. He's turned himself into a bowler. Before he was just used as an opening bat, but now that he's skipper, he's making himself a very economical bowler for Willowcuts. Tracy James, 2 for 27 from 9 with 1 maiden, and Sheldon Caesar, 1 for 32 from 6 with 1 maiden. And then in reply for the Willowcuts inning, they had 23 from Deontay Darrell, 24 from Tracy James, 12 from Shaquille Bean, 20 from Chioke Wainwright, 13. They had people in the early teens, but just could never. They got 11 runs close for the bowlers for PHC. Charles Trott stood out again. 8.5 was 1 maiden, 3 for 35. Chris Douglas, 2 for 15 from 10 with 4 maidens. Sage Carter, 2 for 16 from 5 with 1 maiden. Isaac Todd, 9 overs, 1 for 47. So PHC managing to hold off a strong Willowcuts team.
I think that was come out upset too.
Yeah.
Because Willowcuts was probably another team that, if you look at that team, they was probably looking for promotion in that 50 over, 50 over the tournament too. So that's probably, definitely upset for them. if you look at the team that they had, Deontay, Kwesi, and all those guys, and then with PAC's team, they still got some senior players in that team too, with Chris Douglas and Charles Trott. So,
yeah.
So it just goes to show you those teams are still battling too.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Everybody's playing for position. I don't know if they have the same. It doesn't look like they have the same thing for the first division as they do for the Premier Division in a playoff. It's just, I guess, the top two. You have the league champions, and the other team just goes out with them, kind of thing. So it looks as if that's how that would go.
I thought they was having you would think they had a playoff too in it, but I guess
it doesn't show any schedule.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
We shall see. We shall see. Let's take our third commercial break, and when we come back, we will look at the Junior Connie. It'll be short. the game was over before lunch.
I heard about that.
Yeah. But we'll talk about Junior Connie, and then obviously the Western All Stars as well, and then we'll pick the player of the week. We'll be right back.
Some things just never go out of style, like A&W root beer floats. Creamy vanilla ice cream poured over with that smooth A&W fizz, the kind of treat that makes you feel like a kid again. A&W root beer, proudly distributed by John Barrett & Sons. Find it at Lindo's and bring home that taste of summer. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Pink sands beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, Digicel is proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian.
You ever crack open a Coke and just perfect?
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
And welcome back. Well, I have been updated that there is a playoff in the first division as well.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, there is a playoff. It's just later in the month.
Right.
Yeah, so
Good
good
stuff.
for that. Yeah,
At least consistency between the two leagues.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the. We'll start off with the All-Star match at Weston at White Hill yesterday. It primarily looked like a Devonshire Rec select consisting of the East taking on the West All-Stars. You did have quite a few players from Devonshire Rec and facing up for the All-Stars. For the East, again, you got 77 from Juande Bascom. Shirai Tavares played. He scored 29. Shamal Henry got 10. They got 45 from Cofield Robinson. Shaquille Pitcher, 12. Pretty much for 259 for 8 in 32 overs. They had a late start, so I guess they reduced it. In the bowling department, you had Noah Woods, 7 overs, 2 for 46. Trey Vance, 4 overs, 2 for 49. Koshan Durant, 3 overs, 2 for 30. And Kamal Leverock bowled 4 overs, 1 for 27. And him and Charles Trott bowled 3 overs, none for 32. Charles and Kamal were the 7th and 8th bowler used for the Western All Stars. And then in reply, they were bowled out for 132. Johnny Lee was the top scorer with 41. Kamal scored 24. Marcus Johnson scored 22. And the other people with double figures were Deontay Durling with 11 and Trey Vance with 11. In the bowling department, you had Shirai Tavares, 7 overs, 5 for 30. Shaquille Pitcher, 6.4 overs, 2 for 32. Kieran Trott, 6 overs, 2 for 45. And Lorenzo Simons, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 24. So something to keep the Western County going. They had their select team. Obviously, a lot of the players, some of the young players that are with the national program, they would have enjoyed having them in an all-star game as well. But, unfortunately, they're on international duty. Your thoughts, Doc?
Yeah. Well, like you said, I did look at some of the names that was in there. It was basically like, a lot of players from the Central contest. They invited some all the contests.
Right.
So it looked like it was a lot more from the Central contest.
Yes.
That was good. I mean, at least they had, each team had 11 players.
Right.
And it's something I guess they just need to move forward next year. Like you said, it was missing a lot of players from the Western Conference, mainly because a lot of those guys are away.
Yeah.
A lot of the younger guys anyway that
Right.
probably could have played, So next season they could probably arrange. And another thing I thought when you had an All-Star, they should have waited to they could have waited to the last game was finished too, but maybe
Right.
they felt that it was nothing going on, and it wasn't nothing going on yesterday. So it was probably a good time to look at some different players, and it came off. So that was the main thing. It was
Right.
a fairly good contest.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see, Kamal and some of the other senior guys that was involved in the game.
Right. Still be involved. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely.
Yeah. Terry, this junior county, junior Eastern County. I'm really finding it hard to think that Bailey's Bay Hamilton Parish cannot field a team. As big as that party is. So you have, to the last few years, you just had Cleveland and St. David's play. The first game down at Lord's, St. David's, thanks to some of the under-19 players, built up big Cleveland. And this time around, St. David's were built out for 33 and 18.4 overs. No one, hold on, let me just see. One person, Devontae Benz, with 10, was in the double figures. Everyone else, single digits, 33. In the building department, Macaz Trott. 5 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 5. You had Chance Franks, 1.4 overs, 2 for 2. You had Riley Martin, 3 overs, 2 for 5. Koa Lightborn, 3 overs, 1 for 8. And Cleveland would have been feeling good coming off the field. They only had to get 34 runs, but they could only manage 26 of them. And you start looking at the fall of wickets: 1 for 1, 2 for 3, 3 for 3, 4 for 3, 5 for 6, 6 for 13, 7 for 21, 8 for 23, 9 for 25, all out 26. Not one batsman in double figures. The top score was Joshua Trott with 6, and the bowling department, Sakai, Gibbons, DeShields. I hope I said that right. 8 overs, 4 maidens, 5 for 9. Isaac Todd, 5.4 overs, 4 maidens, 3 wickets for 2 runs. Those two really put Cleveland on the back foot, especially Gibbons DeShields. He claimed the first quite a few of the early wickets with Isaac as well. And then you had Devontae Behrens, Bill 4 was 2 maidens, 1 for 3. They just would not give up runs, the St. David's bowlers. But looking at it, Terry, your thoughts on this junior county? I know they want to keep it going because it's all about the history of the game and make sure that something stays alive and going. But what's your thoughts on how they can, I guess, make it better or bigger?
Well, I think that what's happening now is that the communication for these junior programs start too late. As soon as the new year turns its corner, all this type of stuff for this junior counties and all the other youth programs should be started to be, put together. You know what I mean, and building programs so that they can field teams. It's a shame that a club like Bayless Bay, who's one of the leading clubs in the island, have trouble fielding 11 young players. But I just think that the processes start way too late for our young people to make sure that we do have a competition that's valuable to our young people.
Yes.
And I think the administration, I'm not just picking on Bayless Bay, it's throughout the whole island. I think that the administrations really, really at club level, not talking about national level, really, really have to put more effort in producing these programs and recruitment of young players and having structured programs in place that sort of captivates them and retains the players. You know what I mean? So that when these competitions come around, you're not fighting for a team.
Right.
So I just feel that a lot of it has to be done at the club level. I think the timing of it has to be done better. I think the organization and the structure of programs, coaching programs for our young people have to be at a level where it makes it interesting and attractive to our young people. You no longer can wing stuff at the youth level, and it's happened too many times in the past, and now this is what's happening. This is the result of that. You can't wing when it comes to the young people. You have to put in structured, organized programs for them so that they can develop and maintain interests.
Right.
That's the important thing there, man.
Yeah.
And that's throughout all the clubs.
Yeah.
Island-wide. Because if you want cricket in Bermuda to continue, then it's got to be a collective thing.
Yes.
There got to be incentives in place. But parents want the children to be in structured programs. They don't want to bring their child on and it's a hit and miss because it's supposed to be training. And there's no training because there's no coaches there, or the field's not prepared, or the grass is not cut. And so many things, and so many variables that affect the consistency of youth programs here in Bermuda.
Yeah, definitely.
My understanding is, and I wasn't to the game yesterday, I can only people that I've talked to, that the wicket didn't play very well at Bayless Bay. Right. Even though that these youngsters are both of them got a bat on it, both of them got a ball on it. But when you want your youngsters to develop and show their full potential, then You got to put them on decent wickets.
Yeah.
You can't have one hand popping up and the other hand scooting through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That does nothing for the confidence of our young people.
Right.
So when you look at facilities and the quality of wickets and all that, they deserve that, especially if you're looking for them to be your future.
Right.
That like I said, I wasn't there, but that's what I was told.
Okay.
And my view is that if that's the case, you might as well just put them on concrete wicket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
At least they have a fair opportunity to be able to execute skills and whatever they've been taught.
Right. Yeah. That's food for thought. Food for thought. Yeah. All right. So standout players for this weekend. Obviously, you have Kevon Fubler with 9 wickets in 2 matches. St. Davis taking 2 8-wicket victories. You had Charles Trott scoring 70 odd, claiming 3 wickets. You had a 79 from Jonte Smith in St. George's win over Bailey's Bay. Other standout performances. We had 77 from Truande Bascom in that All-Star game yesterday. Shirai Tavares took 5 wickets in the All-Star game and also scored 24 runs. He got 48 today and 2 wickets as well. Doc, start with you.
Yeah, it was some more other ones too, but I'm leaning towards Kevin Fubler with that 6 and 3 yesterday, 9 wickets.
Right.
You also got Jonte made 892 today, and but if you look at, I'm looking at it over the 2 days. I think Kevin built exceptionally well for St. Davis. So I'm looking towards him, and I'm sure if you look at Charles Trott's performances too, in the Premier, in the first division,
right.
he also had a good weekend too.
Right. Yeah. What's your thoughts, Doc? I mean,
yeah, I would lean between Jonte and Kevon. I take Doc's point about Kevon getting wickets in both days against Flats, and I think the other one was Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
But I will also say that Jonte's 92 had to set the platform up for St. George's to be able to make a decent score and comfortably defeat Bailey's Bay in the Premier Division.
Right.
And he did it at rapid pace too, from what I'm able to understand there.
Right.
So I would say between the two, I would lean towards Jonte, but again, it's your call now, Earl.
Yeah.
Well, this will be the first time that we have 3 different people, because I'm looking at what Charles Trott was able to do today in helping PHC upset Willicox with an all-round performance. You look at 70 odd, helping them to that 165, and then 3 wickets. Just his performance would have helped spearhead PHC to a victory. So now we have 3 people.
Which is
but the only difference is you also mentioned Kevon, Terry. So, all right. So now we throw all 3 back in the hat. Kevon,
Charles,
Jonte, and Charles.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Can you go first?
I'm sticking with what I
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay, well, I'm going second, and I'm gonna agree with Terry. Let's go with Jonte, because he did. I thought of the same thing, but that turtle that he got today, it did set it up for him. So I agree. Even though, like I said, Kevin's wickets too. But then if you look at, well, you can't. You look at the teams, but that doesn't matter. But it's still wickets. But I just think that and like I said, you can't overlook Charles too. He had a good weekend too. But if you look at the teams, like the two balanced teams, with Jonte's batting display.
Right.
And I think, like I said, that's if you look at it, that's where St. George's. That is where St. George's won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So,
Jonte Smith, player of the week.
yeah,
Congratulations.
without dismissing the fact that Charles and Kavon get
Kavon.
mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, they get
Yeah,
special mention,
yeah.
which is a good thing. That's a good thing
Yeah.
that happened tonight.
Yes.
Right.
That's positive.
Definitely. Well done. We'll be back next weekend with another edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. It'll be after the second round of the Eastern County Cup between Bailey's Bay and Cleveland County. So we'll see how that materializes. Enjoy your night, gentlemen.
Yes, you too.
All right.
Next week. Okay.
Peace out.
Yep. Thank
All
you, guys. Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Night.